Hello, and welcome back to my World of Tanks replays. This is the situation. Last night, I was invited to join a tank company. We got a nice medium tank company set up. Everything's ready to go. We join the queue, and there is absolutely nobody to fight. Nobody else was in a tank company then, and basically nothing happened. So I got talking to someone who was in the tank company by the name of Monkey69, and we decided to platoon up, and we had an evening of tanking together. And I thought I would try something new.
Move out.
and uh, and show an entire evening of our tanking, hopefully in one video if this works. That's him next to me. He's in his Black Prince, I'm in my IS. We're both tier 7 heavies, and we're in a tier 8 game. And this was the first game we played, and this was sort of a test the water, see how we work together. And you know what? If you look at our results at the end of this, we're in almost exactly the same position. Now you'll notice on this flank that there's us two heavies and one scout that's won the suicide award and gone off on his own. I'm not gonna lie, he does alright, that scout, but
Looks like that one went right through.
you see we both made a good strike there, so that's a good start. As I said, this is a test of the water for us. See how well we work together. And I just missed my second shot. Someone else stole the kill. He was furious at that because someone else stole his kill. But as you know, kills for me, they're great bragging rights, but otherwise it's not that. I recognise the fact you don't need to get a kill to get the XP. But he's doing very well. He's made 3 good hits. I've made 1 good hit. My gun takes a lot longer to load than his. And I can't see anything anymore. So I'm pushing myself forward, and we've now been joined on our flank by another heavy, and I'm pushing forward because he's pushing forward. I don't want to leave him out here on his own, but I also don't want to go so far forward that starts happening. You see, he's just taking a hit. He isn't going to last much longer. I take my time.
Punched right through their armor.
And that VK is feeling very sorry for himself now. He's gone from full health to 2 hits from us, and he's not doing well. And as you can see, my teammate has just made a kill. However, the tiger that was pushing down with us is now dead. That's what I didn't want to happen to me, and I'm now very far forward on my own. And it's us two and a medium that's now holding this flank. While I'm happy to hold this flank, I don't want to die doing it. At the moment I'm at full health, and so is he. We've made some good strikes, he's got a kill, and as I said, we're working well together. He's going for the cover of the bush. And yes, we have a medium with us, but there's no one else. And this is something that you don't see very often in World of Tanks. We're not pushing forward. If we push forward, we'll be dead. We'll run into however many of them. It's our job in this game to defend this flank, not to go aggressively in and attack. We're waiting for targets to come at us. Scanning the area, and there we go, scout.
Penetration.
And I left him on 8. I couldn't believe it. That really annoyed me. But either way, he's just circled around this area. They know now where we are, and they know that there's only 2 of us plus a medium. But that Cromwell's gone after him, and our other medium is moving forward. And that's basically, I suspect, what the scout was doing. He was trying to draw them off. Now, I don't think he expected to get hit for almost all his health by us, but either way, they've now just given us something to shoot
We
at.
didn't even scratch him.
And as As you can see, I missed, I bounced, but my teammate did a lot of damage to him. Having bounced a shot on his side, I'm not eager to fire him again. And you can see my teammate is making a lot of hits. His gun doesn't do anywhere near the damage mine does. But
That one, can you go through?
for every one shot I land, he needs to do at least 2, maybe even 3 to equal the amount of damage I'm doing. So, although I'm missing a lot of shots and he's hitting more or less every one that he takes, we're doing about the same damage, which is good. And now we're being joined by everybody else. We're no longer on our own. We've defended this flank, and now everybody else is down here. And we suddenly realised that everybody else being on the other flank, they've taken out everything on that side. There's only tanks left on this side. And if we stay where we are, we're not going to get any more XP. We need to get back into the fight now. We've done our job. We've defended the flank. And he gets the kill before I can zoom in. And unfortunately for me, I started moving forward just a fraction too soon there.
We didn't even scratch
And
them.
once again I bounced on the low. That's twice I've shot that low, and twice I've bounced on it. Rather an irritating thing for me in that respect. But look at the team scores, 13-4. They've got 2 tanks left. I had uber problems trying to focus on him, and they're down to 1 tank. There he is, and I don't believe I'm going to get anywhere near him before. Yeah, there we go. And that's our first game over. And not an exciting game for us, but as I'm showing you all the games for the night, I thought, or not all the games for the night, as I'm showing you a lot of the games for the night, I thought I'd show you the first one, because if you look at our stats, then you'll see that it was a good game for us. If you look at our team score, we're slap bang next to each other. Our XP is there's less than 20 between us, and the same with our damage. Almost identical, less than 20 damage between us. I bounced a few shots, and let's face it, he didn't bounce shots. If he fired, it went in. Because of the damage roll difference, you know, I did a lot more damage when mine hit. But it meant we had almost identical matches, and for me, this was a good sign. This was a sign that we were supposed to be playing together. Overall, I hit 4 targets. I didn't damage the low. I hit the low twice, but bounced both times. Critically damaged the T50, and was the first person to spot the VK. There was spotting damage done on it, and I annihilated it with that shot that I did. Earned a decent amount of credits, and as I said, I only fired 10 shots. 6 of them hit, and only 3 penetrations, but really good game for me overall for a tier 7 match. Sorry, a tier 8 match with tier 7 tanks. That was a good game. Okay, so having played in identical heavy tier 7 tanks, we decided to drop it down a tier. I would play my KV-1S, and he was going to play his tank destroyer, his SU-100. And he said his basic plan was, you roll forward and I will cover you. And this is an awful match for him. He does his job spot on. He covers me absolutely perfectly. However, he never manages to fire a single shot. He's always got me covered where possible. His plan is to head up to C1 or C2 area and cover the entire area. I'm going to go up round the back and push forward, see what I come across on this. And the fact that he has my flank covered, that I can't get outflanked because he's sniping the entire area, allows me to be a lot braver than I usually would. And I have a brilliant game. Once again, we're not the highest tier in the game. This is a tier 7 match and we're in tier 6s. But just watch this game. Now I know he's heading for the C2 area. There's already a tank destroyer there, so we're going to have two snipers watching the field. He's almost in position now, and time for me to start pushing forward. Now I don't want to leave myself open, so I'm using the cover that's here, but at the moment I can't see anything. That contact that's just appeared on the map is way out of range for me. Not something I need to worry about. So I'm testing the water, I'm pushing forward. And he's directly behind me. We've got a scout going forward now. And I'm just saying, alright, there's a T1 heavy up there and there's an M6. And I'm not afraid of either of those. If I was in my M6 and I saw a KV-1S coming, I'd be slightly concerned if it has the gun that I have. T1 heavy, I would be cacking it. I like the T1 heavy, but it's no match for my tank, as I've just proven. Big round into the front of him. He backs off before I can. He doesn't even try and fire at me. He just backs off. He sticks his nose out as a pot.
Tracks is damaged.
But now there's some KV-1s up on that ridge taking shots at me, and I'm not wasting a shot on that, especially when they're bouncing. That's that T1 heavy sorted. The T29 has gone in and done its bit. And it's stupid for me to just sit here, so I think, right, no, I'm not just sitting here. Time to move forward. I've got him covering me. He can't see the KV-1s. But the second they stick their head, the second they come anywhere near sticking their head out to take me, he will blow their heads off. So, with that in mind, I rushed that shot. Never pull the trigger on a KV-1S unless you're either nose to nose with them or fully zoomed in. And I know that. I'm trying to get out of the way of this VK, but
Track hit.
doesn't work. Anyway, around this corner,
Enemy vehicle knocked
pull the
down.
trigger. I was close enough there that I didn't need to worry about it. KV-1, there's those two KV-1s. Now we can't see them. However,
The driver is hit. We can't go very fast.
he stuck his head out too far.
Penetration.
That's a good hit, and he doesn't seem willing to move, which is fine for me because I'm prepared to take another shot at him, and I could possibly one-shot kill him, or I could leave him on 10 health if I'm really, really unlucky.
They're hit.
Which it appears I am, but I'm now concerned. Somebody just finished this bloke off, and there he is, finished off, 10 health. I can live with that, but I'm having a blindery game, and unfortunately the guy who's covering me, if you look on the mini-map, he's moving around to make sure I'm covered all the time. I'm telling him now, don't worry about covering me anymore. Look at their team, they've got 5 tanks left. Get to the cap circle, get yourself some cap points, because you've earned precious little in this, and I've had a blinder of a game. My driver's dead, and I'm on about a quarter health. But it's been a brilliant game for me. Even if I was to die now, I'm getting some awesome XP for this one. Once again, they go nervously into the town, and there's one of their heavies in there. And this team actually does very well together. There's a T29 and a KV-3 in front of me, and I let them go first because anything coming in is gonna, anything that's in there is gonna see them as the biggest threat, which should allow me to just go in there and stay back and pop a few tanks without much risk to myself. They're going to be worried about the KV-3 and the T29. They're not going to bother as much with a KV-1S. Doesn't mean if they can only see me, they won't shoot anyone else though, so I do have to be slightly careful. So I know there's that SU-100 back there, and there's a KV-1S and a KV-3.
Penetration.
good shot into the KV-3, and he's still not pointing his gun at me. I know that on that ridgeline there is a tank destroyer. There's the corpse of one, but I know that there's also one that's still alive, and I don't want to be caught out by him. And I just need to wait to reload, aiming at his machine gun, and thank you, good luck.
We've lost a
But that KV-1S has just put a round
man is
into me.
bleeding. We can't rely on him.
And I'm guessing he doesn't have the big gun
We've
because
fixed the truck.
otherwise he'd
We've
have
fixed the truck. Let's roll.
had me. And clearly that SU-100 was the one that was up there, because there wasn't another one up there, because now everyone's dead. And pretty good game for me. And if you look at the reports, you'll see that I destroyed 2. I hit one of my allies, which is a shame. I didn't do it deliberately. I believe that was... in fact, I don't even remember doing that. But I got some spotting damage. I got multiple targets hit. And now, if you look at the team score, you'll see that in first place for experience and damage cause, at the very top of the screen is me. 935 basic XP, nearly 2,000 damage. If you look down the bottom, there he is, Monkey69. He's right at the bottom. Bless him. He spent the entire time covering me, making sure I didn't get into any trouble, and he didn't have a single shot to take in the entire game. He didn't get to the cap circle, didn't get any cap points, and my God, did he suffer for it. And I feel for him in that, because he played a blinder. It's just when you take the job that he took, you don't get any credit for it, and that's a shame. If you look at my overall score, fired 8 shots, direct hits 7. You remember I rushed that one shot and it went off. 6 penetrations, stupidly high amount of damage, nearly 2,000 damaged. I was hit 8 times, and I'm not going to lie, they hurt. But potential damage received 1,445, so clearly was doing something right. There you can see the damage caused to an ally, 58. That looks like it was probably a ram. Either he rammed me or I rammed him. But with my gun, if I had shot an ally, they'd have known about it. It would have been a lot more than 58 damaged. Damage. Instead, overall, a pretty good game for me. Okay, and on to the third match. Having used this setup before, me and my KV-1S, him in his SU-100, we decided we'd try this again. Last time we followed my plan. I always go up and round the back, so this time we decided to follow his plan. He always does the island hop.
Let's get this show on the road.
Which I was prepared to go and do. I have no problem with that. It's not my usual tactic though, so I trusted him, and let's face it, after the last match he needed some XP, so I said, yep, we'll do it your way. You take lead on this. And so this is not my usual tactic, but it worked out okay for me. As you can see, making sure I don't ram my own players. And normally, if I island hop, and I say normally like I normally do it, I don't. But on the rare occasions when I do, I will try and get over to the other island. But that wasn't our tactic here. Now he's asking me, do you think we've been spotted? And I've just said yes. The sixth sense has gone off. I know we've been spotted, or I've been spotted at least. He's just made a really good hit on the Hellcat, and I've finished him off.
The radio man is down. We can only signal.
But they've killed Kenny, my radio.
We've lost a track.
I call him Kenny because he's always the first one to die. That's what Jingles has started doing. I've started doing it as well. He's not wrong. The radio man's always the first to die. But either way, it's a better match for him already. He's got a hit. We've made a kill. take my time, let it zoom, let it zoom, let it zoom. He hasn't seen me, he's seen me now. And I've just hurt him. And monkeys finish him off. So now I've robbed one of his kills, he's robbed one of mine, we're even. And as I said, a much better game for him already. But he's being hit. He's just used his repair kit and put his track back up. But he's very good at spotting in this. He's very good at giving me a heads up where I should be shooting. Not always required, but often it is. I was concerned about the FCM until this little scout came up. And he makes a mistake here. I put a nice round into him, but I leave him for the Hellcat to finish. Which is possibly a mistake, because the Hellcat doesn't finish him. Takes a hit. And it's going to be down to me to finish him off. But we're still taking hits. I think it's fair to say we saved that Hellcat's ass then. I thought he would be able to take that scout on his own. Clearly not the case. But either way, the three of us here are working as a team. Even if only two of us are talking to each other. But unfortunately, that IS-3 has just done my teammate. And having done him, I'm not that eager to stick my front out and give him something to shoot at. However, Artie's got him pegged, someone else has got him pegged, but I can just see him. I'm quite prepared to, but someone else has taken revenge for us. But I know there's another tank over there.
Penetration.
I rushed that shot, it hit, and apparently penetrated, but I didn't see it do any damage. I might have tracked him, I might have done anything. I want to be careful, because this guy can make me feel very sorry for myself. And I see his turret is sideways on, and I ammo racked him. Absolutely beautiful. There's revenge right there. But all the while this is going on, my platoon mate, who's dead, is in other tanks spotting things for me, telling me where things are going. And that's the end of the game. And as you can see from the team scores, once again, I did very well. 3 kills, 4 targets hit. As you know, my teammate killed one of the tanks that I did a lot of damage on, the T-21. But having robbed one of his kills myself, the Hellcat, I'm not that concerned about it. It was good work overall. If you look at the team scores, once again, I'm at the top. And that's mainly because of my platoon mate. He was spotting for me. He was telling me where the things are. And he's brilliant at spotting threats, much better than I am. He'll spot things coming that I won't see coming at all. He'll give me the heads up, and that will give me the chance to get in there first and do the damage. He was absolutely brilliant for that, but he suffers for it because he's covering me. He doesn't always get the shots himself, and in this case, he got killed. I think it was the IS-3 that got him, and I think I revenged him with an ammo rack. If you look at my shots overall, I only took 6 shots. 5 of them were penetrations. All 6 of my shots hit. 5 of them were penetrations. Awesome amount of damage. 100 shy of 2,000. Was hit 3 times. Potential damage received is nothing. Detected 2 enemies. Damaged 4. Destroyed 3. I'm happy with that. Good amount of XP earned for it. Great game overall. And so on to the last game that I'm going to show you from the evening. Although we did play other games after this, he moved up into his Tier 6 artillery and I went for my IS-3. And with us being in completely different tanks, it was much harder for us to work well as a team together. Um, he had some good games, I had some mediocre games at best. They wouldn't be brilliant to talk about from my point of view. And they didn't work as well together when we were in completely different tanks. Maybe if we'd both been in artillery
Move
or
out.
both been in heavies, but as I said, this is the last game where we really worked well together. Um, he was much better in his artillery than I was in my IS-3. And so this is what I'm going to show you. This was my plan. As you know, I always like to go down this route when I'm at this end of the map. He would prefer to take the bridge, but he chose last time, and so he said he'd back me up on this one. I said it was okay for him to do whatever he felt comfortable with, but no, he'll follow me on this one. And unfortunately for us, this is the first game of the entire evening that we don't win. I'm busy talking to him there, and so not paying attention to what I'm doing, straight through a bush, straight into a rock. He's backed up in a sniping position for that light if it comes round the corner, and he had a good shot on it, but unfortunately that aerial just rolled out straight in front of him, blocked his shot, stopped him having it. So he's quite impressed with that, and he's warning me that that coming round this corner might be bad for my health because there's guys up on the bridge there that might be able to have a good shot at me. So I'm wary of them, but there's nobody on the bridge. I'm not going to be that wary of them. If they stick their head out, then I'll be concerned. But he's now directly behind me, and he's ready to cover me as I stick my head round this corner, where there is bound to be some people. But this guy's going to come around this corner, the ELC AMX, and I know how fast they can be.
Finish him off.
But there's a one-shot kill, and he was impressed with that shot. He did tell me. I'm hearing some bounces, whether they're bouncing off me or the tank next to me, I don't know. And he moved just as I loaded the zoom, but I shouldn't have rushed that shot. But either way, there's nothing really for me to hit here. It's time to push up. And at the moment, we're winning. And us on this flank are doing well. But we have noticed down at J2, there's a lot of tanks down there, and they're quite close to our cap circle. If they break through, they could really cause us a problem. So we're heading up. I'm starting to get worried about what's going on down there, so I'm thinking, right, can't really stop him, need to push on through, take them out. I don't rush
One of
this.
the tracks is damaged. They killed our driver. Right through.
And I could have really done with someone else putting some shots into this KV-1 here, because I've still got two targets in front of me. No point moving any further forward. I'll have the KV-1, definitely. I tracked him, I couldn't believe it. He's tracked, but everybody else is bouncing shots off him. And another shot hits me. And I can have the KV-1 this time.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
Lower Glacis wasn't going to make the mistake of aiming for his tracks because they're a weak spot. And I want this Cromwell, I need to time this well. I didn't do that well, I popped my head out too soon, allowing him to fall back further. He's just fired, and I missed him. And he's immobilised me as well.
We're done for.
And he's
Get
got
out.
me. And that's annoying. But suddenly, looking at the team scores, they've suddenly got us all. What's happened is they've come back round behind us, and we're now finished. They've backed up round us, and they finished us. And there's nothing we can do about this one. We are going to lose. It's sad. If we'd got to that flag, we might have been able to cap first. But the fact is, this is a doomed match now. If that Cromwell hadn't got me, it might have been okay. This T-34 should not be trying to run for the cap circle. He should be just... He should have just tried to take out that Cromwell. And so, here's the results for that match. As you can see, 4 enemies. I hit the Cromwell, but didn't manage to do any damage. I got some spotting damage done on the Valentine. And that KV-1 put 3 rounds into him, one of which tracked him, and got the kill on him. And I had that beautiful one-shot kill on the ELC AMX. But overall, we got outflanked and defeated. My teammate here, the SU-1 in the SU-100, he turned around and tried to get some shots into the guys that were outflanking us, but just got taken out. They played well. All credit to them. They played brilliantly. They were losing and they turned it around and had a good game. If you look at my overall score, fired 6 times, 4 hits, 4 penetrations, under 1,000 damage. Took a hell of a lot of potential damage. It was a good game for me in that respect. But as I said, from this point onwards, we thought we'd pushed our luck with this combination, and we tried the artillery and tier 8 heavy combination, and it just wasn't good. We didn't work well together. We weren't. It didn't make good viewing, so we called it a night after that. Who knows? You might see some more videos of them in the future. But I hope you've enjoyed this, and I will catch you next time. Bye.